What's up, y'all? So, yeah, in the middle of the night, like, I don't know, well, I do know why, but I wake up faithfully every night in the middle of the night. I don't know if y'all know the witch's hour. It's normally around 3 o'clock. That's really whenever our intuition is at its highest. Like anybody, like if you want to get like really deep into spirituality, which I suggest that you look at the pros and cons of it first, okay? But yeah, anybody looking to like get into spirituality like really deep, 3 o'clock in the morning is your best friend. Anybody, if you find that you wake up in the middle of the night, it's probably your spirit guides trying to get in touch with you, my guy or my girl. But yeah, if you guys have like a loved one that has like passed on, y'all please excuse this little baby doll in my background. I don't know if y'all can see it right here or not, but yeah. But yeah, anybody that wakes up in the middle of the night, if you find that you normally wake up around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you just be hyped up, like, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's either one, a spirit trying to communicate with you, or that could simply be like your spirit, your spiritual gifts trying to summon themselves, okay? A lot of people, I'm not even gonna say a lot of people, really everybody on this planet possesses spiritual gifts. Every single one of us. Every single one of us has the ability to be psychic. Every single last one of us has the ability to be tapped in. But time to ourselves and actually communicating with spirit, you know, and taking that time out with ourselves, you know, it'll kind of enhance it. But that is not what I made this video for. I made this video to share with you guys this really cool quote that I came across while I was doing my reading and research in the middle of the night. The quote is, "What soap is for the body is tears for the soul." And y'all, when I tell you that quote, like, it sounds very confusing at first, but like that quote, like, it really touched me to the point to where, like, y'all know how they mention holy water a lot of times, like holy water this, holy water that, you know, and even like in the churches, which I can speak on it because I used to go to church, so I know exactly, you know, all of that. But yeah, with the holy water, they normally like to sprinkle it and stuff like that. But anyways, y'all, I came to the realization that our tears, when we cry, that is a liquid substance from inside of us that has a very cleansing element about it. Like, our tears are very pure, they're very innocent, and a lot of times, I don't know if y'all are into prayer or not, or affirmations, but a lot of times when we pray, we don't always know exactly what to pray for. We don't always exactly know how to word it to where it covers everything, because we could pray for this but forget to pray about this, you know. But our tears, they give off a signal to the spirits and the universe around us, and they convey a message that our mouths alone, it's like, I don't know why I just had in my mind, like, can't live by bread alone, you know. It's like our words can only do so much. Our prayers can only do so much because we only know so much of what we should pray for. You know, we could pray for, you know, protection, but it's just like, okay, what about the other things in your life? But our tears, they allow us to pray for things that we didn't even know we needed, y'all. You know, that made me think of this song. Me and my sister, or one of my sisters, we was joking about this song. She said, "I give you things you didn't even ask for," or something like that in the lyrics. She was like, "I'm trying to see what that's like." But, you know, our tears, they convey messages that we don't know how. Y'all ever been in like so much pain, like you're so sad that it's just like your words alone, like you saying like I'm sad, it's just not enough. So your tears, they come out, and it's like after those tears are done flowing, we feel better, you know. And it's almost as if our tears have, it's almost as if like when our tears come out of our face, it's like they deliver, like, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you very much. But
it's from the kitty cat.
Yes.
Mom, he wanted that way.
Yes. Okay, hold on, baby. But
Mom, trying to get her.
yeah. But I come to realize, y'all, that holy water, like the way I interpret it, is like our cries. Because when we cry, not only are we conveying a message, but we're also showing our vulnerability, you know. And I found out that vulnerability is our greatest strength. Because, you know, and it's crazy because, you know, this world, they make vulnerability in the light of weakness. But honestly, when we are at our most vulnerable, that's when our prayers are the most powerful. That's whenever our messages get conveyed to the spiritual realm way quicker. Because it's like spirit is like, oh shit, my baby crying. She's scared, she's sad. Like, let me hurry up and get to her. Like, it's a comfort, you know. And it's crazy because I always used to tell myself that when I'm crying, I'm cleansing myself, you know. And it's crazy that I came across that quote, and they actually mentioned soap. You know, we use soap to cleanse ourselves, and it's actually being compared with our tears. So in my reality, that was kind of like confirmation to me that at my weakest moments, at my most vulnerable moments, at my saddest moments, at the moments where I have been hurt or feel so much pain that all I can do is cry, that is me at my most powerful. That's me at my most connected to source, you know. Because it's different if I'm just like, all right, God, I'm sad. But when I'm actually broken down, when we're like, not just me, when we're actually broken down to where all we can do is cry because we don't know what to say, or it's too much, like we're overcome with emotion. A lot of times it's not even sadness. A lot of times we could be so grateful and just so happy and so filled with joy that the tears, they just flow. And those tears are signaling a much powerful message, is conveying a very powerful message compared to what our mouths can do, because our mouths can only do so much, y'all. You know, prayer can only go so far. But it's like our tears is kind of like a stamp of approval, like, God, I mean this. I mean that, you know, everything that's coming out of my mouth, I mean it. I am sad. I am feeling this way. I do have this on my heart. And it's like, this is my stamp of approval. My tears, they show my vulnerability. They show how real it get out here in these streets. You feel me? And I just want to let y'all know that it's okay to cry. It's okay to surrender to your emotions. It's okay to feel those emotions. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be worried. All of that is okay, you know. And especially to my men, oh my goodness, if I could just say one thing to men, it will just be, it's okay to cry. I really genuinely hate that this world has programmed you men in particular to not cry. I hate that this world has programmed men to tuck their emotions away. You know, I really hate that that has happened, because you're tucking away your vulnerability. And if you can't come before God, the spirit, the universe, in your most vulnerable form, that's not true submission to spirit, you know? Like, if we can't even, because, okay, it's different if we put up a strong front with the world, because I could understand that part. But it's like when we get to ourselves and we still do not, you know, show that vulnerability to spirit. Like, spirit, look, I'm breaking down, I'm crying, like, this is me. These are my real raw, you know, emotions. These are my real, genuine feelings that I took away from the world, and I'm sharing them with you. I'm sharing them, you know, with my God, my spirit, you know. And, you know, I just felt that that was like a very heartfelt moment that I had with spirit last night. And also with my grandmother, because I don't know if y'all remember in my last video or not, but I was telling y'all that my grandmother actually has been, you know, around and like, you know, kind of like moving stuff. And I actually had a conversation with her. Like, I kind of tucked away my fears, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and have this conversation. But it's just those moments to ourselves, the vulnerability, like allowing ourselves to feel, allowing ourselves to have those thoughts, allowing ourselves to say what's on our heart, you know. But I just found a lot of strength in that. I found a lot of strength in that. It kind of also reminds me of the Bible script. I really don't remember it like off the top of my head, y'all. I do not know the Bible off the back of my head. But there's a script like God is close to the brokenhearted or something like that. One of y'all, if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all can comment it. But what is it? The brokenhearted or the widows or something? Or God is the closest to them or something like that. But it's almost as if like outside of life being great, you know, and us being happy, because everybody wants to be happy, you know, but it's kind of like we're not this close to spirit or God until we're at our lowest moments, until we are broken down at our absolute worst, you know. And that's just showing me personally the strength in my vulnerability, the power in my moments where I feel the most powerless, you know. And that's coming from me. I'm Miss Independent all day, every day. Everybody know that. But to be able to break down, to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to be weak, I found so much strength in that. I genuinely did. And excuse my language, but like I ain't feel like no little bitch afterwards or nothing. Like I felt pure afterwards. Like I genuinely felt clean after I had my conversation with spirit and my grandmother, and I allowed myself to cry. And it was amazing that after that I had came across that quote, you know, that what soap is for the body, tears are for the soul, you know. And I just felt like after I went through my spell of crying, it's like I just released so many toxins and just so much poison from my body, and just, you know, and it's almost as if like spirit provided me whatever my tears conveyed to spirit. It's like spirit provided that for me, and I didn't even know I needed that. A lot of times we don't know what to pray for. We think we know what to pray for. Like, oh, if I could just get a house, if I could just get the car, if I could just get this. We think that those things will make us happy. We think that that's what we need. Oh, I want a marriage. I want a good man. I want a good wife. I want children. I want this. I want that. We think these things will be our answers. We think these things will soothe us. But truth be told, y'all, we don't know what this spirit needs. We didn't create it. You know, this spirit, you know, it's its own creator. We don't know what this spirit needs. So it's like when we're broken down and when we have gotten to the points where we're so clueless on how can I be happy? What do I need to do? Where do I need to start? It's like, it's not until we get so confused to where we just surrender, and it's just like, you know what? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this sadness. I don't know what to do with my anger. I don't know what to do to make this situation better. Like I just don't know anymore. And it's like when those tears start to flow and when we surrender, when we give up control, when we give away our power, that's whenever spirit comes in. It's just like, okay, she done ran out of ideas, or he done ran out of ideas, so now I can step in and do my job. You know, I think a lot of times we, especially myself, you know, I can only, what's wrong with you? But I can only speak on myself. And with me being Miss Independent, you know, with me being Miss Independent, a lot of times I do feel like I know what I need, or I know what's wrong and how to fix it. You know, a lot of times I do fall guilty of doing that. And it's not until I get so overwhelmed or so confused or so frustrated beyond what I know how to fix. But yeah, and that just, a lot of times whenever I'll just speak on myself in particular, but a lot of times whenever I feel like I know, it's almost as if the more we think we know, the further we get away from spirit, the further we get away from truth. And it's not until we can confess and admit, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what to do with this sadness. I don't know the cure to my problems. I don't know all the answers. It's not until we can confess that and be vulnerable to where we can actually get the proper help that we need. You know, because something I've learned about this spirit is that it's not gonna, sometimes it does, but for the most part, it's not gonna like force itself on you. It's like spirit is like, I know what you need in your life. I know the answers. I created you. But since you think you can go out here and fix your problems, which, you know, in some cases we can. So it's like we have to use our own discernment, you know. But it's kind of like, if you're constantly in my way, if you're constantly trying to figure everything out, if you constantly know all the solutions, and if you constantly are trying to self-soothe your sadness away, you know, it's just kind of like, how can I soothe your spirit? How can I come in and restore your spirit, restore your heart, restore your mind, restore your peace of mind? How on earth can I do this for you if you're self-medicating, like drinking, smoking, stuff like that, partying? Like, if you're trying to fix it yourself, how can you expect me to be God and help you? You know? And it's not until we get out the way, y'all. It's not until we allow ourselves to surrender control. It's not until we can allow ourselves to be vulnerable where spirit hops in, you know? But if we're trying to figure it out, it's like spirit literally will get out of the way and let us figure it out. And then we be sitting up here looking crazy like, come on, spirit, why you ain't helping me? You see me struggling, why you ain't helping me? And spirit like, well, you wanted to go out there and be Captain Save-A-Ho. You wanted to figure it out yourself. You didn't admit that you were sad. You didn't cheat. I'm not finna. You look like you got it under control, Miss Bougie, Miss Independent, or Mr. Independent. You got it all figured out. You got a whole life plan of what you finna do from this year to the next year to the next year. How I'm gonna step in? How? It's not until we surrender. It's not until we surrender, you know? And, you know, I actually used to hate crying, especially in front of people. But something I learned, y'all, especially about the evil eye. I have to do a completely different video on that, y'all. I would have to do a completely different video on that. But to my individuals who you already know what the evil eye is, and you, well, me in particular, I was looking for a way to kind of ward off evil eyes. I came to the realization, and I came across some information as well, that crying, being vulnerable, making mistakes, failing, those are things that can actually ward off evil eye. Like, evil eye is basically only around whenever your life seems too good, or if it seems like you got things too in check, or if you're too successful, too healthy, too beautiful, too handsome, if your children is too damn smart, too damn talented, mistakes like negatives, stuff like that, deficiencies, shit like that, it wards off evil eye. If people can see your imperfections, it's just like, okay, cool, you know. But if you come across as too perfect, like, goddamn, her hair is laid, this is that, she got this, that's that. It's like these mistakes. If you allow people to see your mistakes, if you allow them to see your more vulnerable side, if you allow them to see that your life ain't fucking perfect, it actually helps to ward off evil eye. Because believe it or not, misery loves company. So if you can give off the impression that part of your life is miserable or something is fucked up, it kind of helps to ward off evil eye. Reverse psychology for that ass. But yeah, so back to the topic about crying. I used to tell myself that I hated to cry, you know, and I actually used to pride myself on how unbothered I was. That's the new quote, unbothered. You know, it's like society literally tries to reward us for not giving a fuck. Rewards us for not caring. But I'm one of the motherfuckers, I give a fuck. I care a lot. I'm sensitive. I pick up on shit. I care about somebody hurt my feelings. I care, you know. But it's almost as if, like, with society teaching us that you don't need to care, just don't give a fuck. Just don't give a fuck. Just don't care. Just don't care. Just don't. You know, and it's like the more we deny our feelings, like, no, that breakup didn't hurt me. No, I'm not bothered by this divorce. I'm what is it? F-R-E-E, fuck, nigga free. You got all these songs that are promoting numbness. They're promoting, which I fucking love that song. So Glorilla, I fucking love her. But if y'all notice, there's a pattern in these songs, and they're actually promoting us not giving a fuck about things that we know deep down inside we do give a fuck about. Like Glorilla, I'm sure that if I can use my spiritual gifts on her and actually have a sit down with her, I guarantee you that girl will shed some tears with me. I guarantee you. Because we are human beings. We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. We're humans. We have a heart. That means what? We possess feelings. We possess emotions. We're supposed to feel shit. We're supposed to be sad, y'all. We're supposed to be mad. We're supposed to be frustrated. Those emotions signal that something is fucked up, something is wrong, something is not satisfying us, something is not right. And when we can take those emotions and share them with spirit, it's almost as if that's our burnt offering. But it's a innocent form. Our emotions are pure. They're very pure. The energy that's behind them, even anger, you know, that which I found out anger is actually a secondary emotion. Really, we don't be angry. Our feelings just be hurt. And we got this other side of us just like, why did you do this to me? Like, anger is nothing really but us trying to defend ourselves. Really, our feelings just be hurt like a motherfucker. But, but I found, y'all, this music is loud as fuck. Hold on. All right, I'm back. When the music is too loud, my brain, it gets really loud. My thoughts get really loud and I start sweating and shit. But, y'all, there's beauty in how we feel. Our emotions are very powerful. They are very, like, okay, I'm trying to explain this in a way to where everybody fully understands. Like, when y'all walk away from this video, I want y'all to fully understand how powerful your tears are, how powerful your emotions are, and how deep of a bond you form with spirit when you share that energy, you share that emotion that you're feeling in your chest. When you share that with spirit, it deepens your bond. Speaking of deepening bonds, don't judge me. I be curious as fuck. I was looking up blood rituals, And what I found out, which I've never done it and I don't plan to do it, what I found out is that that's how some people form covenants with one another. And it's a very deep and spiritual bond when they do that. Meaning that your blood is in my blood is in your blood. You're me, I'm you. This shit is for life. Like, that's it. I realized, y'all, that we have a covenant with spirit, but because simply by us having this blood, simply by us all possessing blood in our bodies, we all are already one, you know. But you know how people talk about like sacrifices and stuff like that, things of that nature, and also how they mention like the burnt offerings in the Bible. I realized, y'all, that our emotions, when we share them with spirit, like when we get to ourselves and we sit with spirit, like, okay, spirit, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going on. It's like that mutual exchange, the things that we normally wouldn't share with anybody else. Like, me personally, I don't really like to cry in front of a bunch of people. So me crying in private and having that conversation with spirit, it deepens my bond. Like, honestly, I feel more connected with spirit than I have in a minute. Like, honestly, I've been kind of feeling a little bit out of touch with spirit. But last night, with me sharing my fears with spirit, sharing my worries, sharing my anxieties, and also me crying, because once again, I told y'all, it's like our tears is literally like a stamp of approval. Like, this is proof that what I'm saying is true. This is proof of how sad I am. This is proof of how stressed out I am. This is proof. Like, this is my burnt offering. Like, this is physical fucking proof that I need you. This is physical proof that, you know, I'm being vulnerable. I'm breaking down. I'm being myself. I'm being open. I'm being honest. This is physical fucking proof. This is a stamp of approval, my guy. But, yeah, I just felt very much connected with spirit after that. And I also felt connected with my grandmother as well. Because I had my conversation with my grandmother, and honestly, once again, we all possess this spirit of truth within us, the spirit of communication within us. It's just a matter of everybody actually taking time out to kind of hone in on it. But last night, I took it upon myself to, you know, have that conversation with my grandmother and express to her how I felt about everything. And like, I went into details about everything, you know. And to anybody else, if you want to communicate with your loved one that has passed on, one, you would have to get somewhere where it's quiet, where it's just you. And also, I would say you would have to like really just be aware of what you're thinking and how you're feeling. Because we have to remember, and I want you guys to remember, that spirits, they operate through thoughts and through feelings. Like, you can either feel if one's there, or you can like have like random thoughts, shit like that. But if you're not in tune with yourself, it is fucking impossible to be in touch with a spirit, because spirit communicates through thoughts. Sometimes it's through visions, your dreams. You can have like a random emotion. Sometimes it's physical symptoms that you can feel. But you won't be able to pick up on those cues from the spiritual realm if you are not aware of how the fuck you feel, how the fuck you think. If we're constantly pushing away, oh, I ain't sad, I ain't mad, I ain't sad, I ain't mad, I'm good, I'm good. Like, if we're ignoring how the fuck we feel, how on earth could we feel our loved one around us? It's fucking impossible, you know. And I actually realized also, you know how there's like aggressive spirits and like how they say there's haunted houses and shit like that. I found out those spirits are just pissed off because nobody is actually acknowledging them. like, how would we feel if we was in a room full of a bunch of people? One, don't nobody see us. Ain't nobody trying to fucking see us. Nobody hears us calling out. We alone. Can't nobody, like, interpret what the fuck. Like, nobody sees us. Nobody hears us. That will make anybody hate people and be violent and shit, you know? But it's almost as if everybody on this planet tapped in with themselves and communicated with their loved ones that have passed on, it's like there wouldn't be a need for evil spirits to enter this planet anymore. Like, it would be nothing but purity on this planet, because we will be acknowledging those spirits that want to be acknowledged, like, you know. But most people don't know how to communicate with spirits, because they don't really know how to communicate with themselves. And that's what I tell anybody, like, if you want to learn how to communicate with spirits, start with yourself. If you can fully identify how you feel, if you can fully identify what you're thinking about, you know, and if you're highly tapped in with yourself, meaning that you confront how you feel. I'm sad right now. This is what's going on. Boom, I'm laying it out on the table. I can see this shit clearly. I'm very tapped in. I'm not trying to push away how I feel. I'm not on no prideful shit. Like, I'm being open. I'm being honest. I'm being vulnerable. That's the only way that we can truly connect with the spiritual realm. It's like we have to be tapped in with self first, you know? And the conversation that I had with Spirit last night led to me crying or whatnot, that deepened my bond with Spirit. And I actually felt the presence. Like, I actually felt I don't know, I felt clean as fuck. Like, not only did I take a bath, so of course I felt clean physically, but like my spirit actually felt like it has been reset. It felt like it was like replenished in a way. Like, I don't know. But it's just very important for us to be tapped in with ourselves. And part of being tapped in with ourselves is being honest with ourselves about how the fuck we feel. You know? And be honest about how we feel. You know? Because most of the times, you know, we try to go through life and we just try to pick ourselves up and carry on. Because a lot of times that's what a lot of us just had to do. A lot of us had to just pick ourselves up and keep pushing forward. I'm one of those people. You know, lost a loved one, go through separation. You still have to fucking push forward. You know? But it's kind of like while we're pushing forward, kind of reminded to take those breaks and really, you know, touch bases with ourselves. Like, okay, I'm moving forward, you know, making progress. You know, I'm taking care of business. But how am I feeling? What am I worried about? Is there any anxieties? Do I experience any and a lot of times, y'all, we get so busy we don't know how the fuck we feel. Like, we don't know we dealing with grief. We don't know we sad as fuck. We don't know we buried anger in here. We don't be knowing because we be so busy. So taking that time out with ourselves to really ask ourselves, like, am I okay? Because sometimes we don't know. And when we don't know, a lot of times those emotions, they channel themselves into physical pain. It's like Spirit tries to communicate with us the best way it knows how. But we have to seriously be paying attention. And a lot of times some people are so unaware of themselves that it gets to the point to where shit gets so bad with their body to where they have no choice but to fucking sit still and be like, damn, you know, like, I'm really in bad shape right now. You know, because I don't know if y'all know, but cancer itself, which I really wish that I could have had that conversation with my grandma when she was younger. Like, I wish I was around her when she was young so that I could have told her that, like, hey, you being stressed the fuck out and your anxiety being on 100 all the time, you're multiplying the cells in your body by thousands of fucking negative energy. And that negative energy, if it's in your cells, it's in your bloodstream. If it's in your bloodstream, it's in your fucking brain. If it's in your brain, it is all through you. And that's how a lot of illnesses create themselves. A lot of times our illnesses are nothing but a pile up of fucked up ass emotions that we have not processed. We have not released that shit from our bodies. And if we don't release it from our bodies, it sits there and it forms a cavity. Like, imagine, I don't know if y'all have ever watched videos about people who go a really long time without like caring for their teeth. But in those videos, you'll see that if a person is not caring for their teeth properly, it builds up the plaque. We all know that. But if that plaque continues to fucking build up, if it continues to just sit there, it actually forms all type of mouth illnesses, or sometimes it's like gingivitis, like shit like that. And it's simply because of a build up of shit. Cancer is nothing but a build up of shit. Most of these illnesses that we see outside of like a cold, you know, but it's really a buildup. So that's why it's important that we try to track these emotions down and release them from our bodies as soon as we most possibly can, by being honest with ourselves about how we feel and allowing those emotions to come out of our bodies. And the best way for it to come out, it's not just through crying. So I don't want y'all to think, oh damn, the only way I can do this is by crying. No, crying is just one of the ways. Dancing, singing, listening to music. So anybody, if you deal with high blood pressure, things of that nature, if you listen to relaxing music, it'll actually slow your heartbeat down. And if it slows your heartbeat down, it'll slow everything else down within you, and it'll really help to relax you. So crying is not the only way to cleanse yourself or to rid yourself of these emotions. To me, that was just my own personal way of showing my vulnerability to spirit and getting it out. Like, I realized, like, my spirit literally cleansed itself. But yeah, that's not the only way to release emotions. Some of the other ways is yelling, drawing, running, working out. Like, there's many ways, y'all, but the one that I found solitude in, and the one that I found a lot of power in, and it's crazy because I was actually looking for ways to not only ward off evil eye, but ward off evil energies. And I was looking at all these different rituals and these different methods. And I got to the point to where while I was studying, I got so fucking frustrated with myself and with what Google was popping up that I was just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, they got all these remedies, all this shit. Like, which one am I supposed to submit to? Which one will work best for me? I got so frustrated, y'all. I just started fucking crying. And while I was crying, I was like, oh shit, I'm leaking tears. Like, I'm leaking a substance. This is my ritual. My tears will ward off this shit. Like, literally. Holy water. You know how they say holy water, you put that shit on you, you cleanse. Yeah. Hell yeah, I took my motherfucking tears and I poop. The fuck? Yes. So that's like my own little ritual that I have with myself. My tears, me crying, water. You know, not only can you drink water, you can take a bath in it, and you can cry that shit any time of the day. You know, but I just want y'all to know the power of your tears. That's a stamp of approval. That is you showing God that what I'm telling you is pure, is real, is coming from my heart. I'm crying, boop, stamp of approval. This shit is real, it's legit, it's raw. You know, but that's not the only way. But I just want y'all to know that how y'all feel is important. Confronting how you feel is important, because if we go long periods of times without confronting or addressing or admitting to how we feel, all it does leads to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cancer, and other very dangerous health conditions. You know, and yeah, that's also why I've been taking a lot of pleasure in dancing, because that's also a way to move, you know, because something I've learned about the word emotions itself is emotion. Motion, meaning that we're supposed to be actually moving our bodies so that the energy gets the fuck out. Like, it has somewhere to go. It doesn't just lay dormant. So exercising, moving around, dancing, hiking, riding a bike, just being physically active, y'all, it really works wonders with moving that energy around. Because if you get your feelings hurt and that shit just sit here, or if you feeling real anxious or you pissed off at somebody and it's just sitting here, it's just sitting here, y'all, what do you think will happen to all this energy? It's just sitting there. It ain't moving. You ain't talking to nobody about it. Your ass ain't crying. You ain't even admitting to yourself that you pissed off or sad. It's just sitting here. And I want y'all to also remember our emotions when we feel them right here. Our heart, y'all. Our heart is not far away from right there. You know? And our heart is very important. Our heart pumps oxygen to our blood and shit, or to our brain. And it, you know, helps to pump the blood through our body. Like, it's very important. And for us to take care of our heart, we got to make sure we not adding a bunch of pressure on it. We got to make sure that we're kind of releasing some of that pressure by confronting how we feel. Tapping in with ourselves. That's what the whole that's what this whole video is about. Tapping in with ourselves. Being open, honest, and vulnerable with ourselves about what's really going on in our lives and how we truly feel about it. And a lot of times, it's shit of the past that we have not addressed. From childhood traumas, all of that. If we just carry on in life and we don't confront this shit, y'all, it shows up in mysterious ways in our behavior now. You know? But yeah, anything in our lives that we don't confront, it manifests itself in another way or another. You know, my grandmother, she passed away of cancer, and I and a lot of other people who know her firsthand can tell you, my grandmother always stressed out. She always was very anxious. She always was very on guard, like, you know, just very jumpy, like, you know, how y'all doing? Y'all okay? You want me to check in? Like, and going a long time, like, I'm glad that she was able to live that long, but 60-something years of stressing the fuck out, 60-something years of, you know, being anxious, y'all. If we don't, not so much as nip it in the bud, but if we let these emotions linger on, we're not confronting them, we're not getting enrolled into therapy, we're not being physically active to move this shit around, it just sits there, y'all. It sits there, and not only does it create illnesses and shit within us, but it actually fucking poisons us, y'all. I don't know if y'all know too much about your digestive tract, but if you eat some food and you do not go to the bathroom, if you don't, you know, I was about to say if you don't shit, but no, if you don't have a bowel movement, it's important for everybody to have a bowel movement every day. Because if that food just sits there, y'all, it literally can make you sick. Because that shit is supposed to pass through our bodies. It's supposed to go in your mouth, down your esophagus, in your intestines, flow down. You're supposed to go shit. That's what's supposed to happen. Now imagine if you eat a bunch of food. Like, each time y'all have a negative emotion or a negative thought, or you encounter a negative experience in your life, and even to myself, hell, because I need to be saying this to my goddamn self too, because sometimes I just shut down and don't say shit. But when we are processing something fucked up in our lives, if we don't get that out, just remember, like food, okay? It's like food. We eat, we shit it out. You drink water, you piss it out. It's a routine, it's a system, y'all. Same thing with our emotions. If something has happened to us, or if we're feeling some type of way, that shit has to be processed. It has to come out. Now, I'm not saying y'all gotta go around cussing motherfuckers out. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that y'all, it's like, I'll probably have to do another video. I'm gonna do some thorough research, and we're gonna sit down and go over the different ways to actually release this pent-up energy and pent-up emotions. But it has to come out, y'all, because if not, that is poison to our spirits. It's poison, and if our spirit is poisoned, of course our brain is poisoned, our heart is poisoned, everything about us is poisoned if our spirit is not okay. You know, so I just want you all to know that how you feel is important. What you have gone through, like everything that you have gone through up until this point that has made you sad, that has made you uncomfortable, that has made you angry, that has made you scared, any thoughts that you have, they are valid. They are very fucking important. And it is also important that we release that shit. Either through prayer, dancing, fasting, therapy, movement. There's so many different ways. I'll do another video, but it's important, y'all. It's very important. Like, it literally could be life or death. Like, that's how serious confronting our emotions are. And it's crazy because the music that we listen to nowadays is programming us not to give a fuck. It's programming us to be unbothered. You know, and that's unhealthy. It's very fucking unhealthy not to feel shit, not to give a fuck. Like, that's very unhealthy, you know. And anybody, if you're thinking to yourself like, oh, maybe my feelings are not valid, like, yeah, they are. And if you guys don't have anybody around to listen, I would most definitely advise you guys to either write in a diary or prayer is like very simple, like just talking out loud. Like, imagine yourself actually being face to face with God, or being face to face with your loved one, or being face to face with the person who hurt you. Like, as long as you're getting it out in some type of way, either through writing music, listening to music, it's just very important to get it out. Because once again, just like food, y'all, we eat food to shit it out. We drink juice and water to piss it out. Same thing with emotions. That shit has to go somewhere. Because if it does not, y'all, if it does not, it can make us very sick. And it can poison our spirits. You know, it can poison our spirits. And if our spirit is poisoned, shit, everything else is just like shit. You know. But it kind of made me think about something my dad said a long time ago about our bodies. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to reposition it. But about our bodies overheating, kind of like a car. If you have a car on for too fucking long, you know, it overheats. Same thing with our bodies. If we're constantly having a shitload of stress, and every day we're anxious, and we got emotions on top of emotions, and childhood traumas and shit that we have not processed, our spirit is really designed to be pure, but it can handle a couple impurities. But if we're piling multiple impurities, multiple energies of fucked up emotions inside our spirit, and we're not doing anything with it, you know, that's whenever spirit kind of just like, you know, I can't take this anymore. So, you know, that's why a lot of times people pass away of illnesses and things of that nature, you know. But yeah. And to my men, I just want y'all to remember, it's okay for y'all to cry. Okay? If y'all just wanted to hear that from somebody, I'll be that motherfucker. Cry. It's okay. It's okay to give a fuck. Some other people who you like, I don't know. It's just this world is just trying to program us to be robots, and we're not that. We're human beings, and God blessed us with these hearts, we're supposed to have emotions. That's why we have this heart. We're supposed to be angry. We're supposed to be sad over shit so that we can have a reason to run to God. We have something to talk about. We have a reason to need him. If we were always peaceful and happy, we wouldn't fucking need God. But he don't want it to be like that. He wants us to be sad. He wants us to cry. He wants us to be angry and frustrated and confused so we can come to him for guidance or go to her for guidance. Whatever y'all believe in or whatever y'all believe in, I support it, you know. But just know there's strength in your weaknesses. There's like us being vulnerable. There's power in that. There's power in that. Now, I'm not saying you gotta cry in front of a bunch of people. And a lot of times you don't even have to truly tell people how you feel. But if we're getting to ourselves, and as long as we can have that open and honest dialogue with spirit or God, whatever everybody believes in, as long as we have that private dialogue behind closed doors to where we can get that out of us instead of just walking around with this, you know. And you know what? I used to wonder how and why there's so many like mass shootings and shit like that, or how people could be so violent, you know. And I come to realize like now, some people just have so much on them already that when something pops up, like they were already on the brink of fucking exploding, you know. Because like plenty of times I've read and come across stories about like how a couple, they'll be together and like one of them decide they just want to kill the other one or beat the other one ass, and it's just like, bro, what triggered you to do that? And if you actually could sit down and ask that person, they probably had a lot of shit on them already, and that was just the icing on the motherfucking cake. That was just the icing, you know. So that's why I also try my hardest to be as gentle as I most possibly can with people, because people already have it bad. People already have shit from childhood. It's just people already have shit going on. They already have stuff on their spirit, on their mind, on their soul that's already weighing heavy on them. So it's kind of poking a fucking grizzly bear when we have an attitude with somebody, if we yell at somebody, if we're impolite to somebody. So that's why I try my absolute hardest to always stay humble. I always try my hardest, because you have no idea what the next person is going through or what they have gone through. Like, you have no idea. A person could be sitting beside you and they just got one more time, like one more person to say something rude to them. One more motherfucking person. Like, you don't know what that person's childhood was like. You don't know what they deal with when they go home. So you having an attitude with them or saying something rude to them, that shit was just the icing on the fucking cake, you know. So that's why I always try my best to just be sweet and humble. Everybody always wonder like, oh, I'm always trying to be the peacemaker and shit like that. It's because I am highly aware that any stress I add to somebody, it is an add-on to whatever they already have going on in their life. And I don't ever want to add stress to anybody. I don't ever want to add on to your anger or add on to your sadness. I want to relieve you of that shit, you know. But I'm having to learn now that it's not my job to unpack somebody else's baggage. It's not my job to go around making motherfuckers happy. Everybody had to learn that. Like, I can try it sometimes, but when I'm not able to make these videos, or whenever I'm not able to pick up my phone or be there, it's like everybody is going to have to know how to process their own emotions, you know. Because what if that is my spiritual gift, relieving everybody of some of their stress and anxieties? I don't fucking know. But if I'm not around, I need to know that everybody around me is straight. That, you know, if I'm busy, motherfuckers know how to handle their own emotions and reduce their own sadness, reduce, you know, their own stress, you know. And crying is one of them. That helps you to cleanse your spirit. A lot of times, if we get to a point of our lives where we don't know what to do anymore, we don't know what to pray for, we don't know, crying it sends off a signal to spirit and to the universe, like, okay, this bitch crying, something wrong, let's go see, you know. Like, our tears convey messages that our mouths alone cannot, you know. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I just wanted to share that with y'all, this quote that I came across and how it related to me, what I got from it. And just know, if y'all needed somebody to tell you that how you feel is important, I'll be that motherfucker. If you still sad or mad about something that happened 50 fucking years ago, I am here to tell your ass that's okay. It's okay to still be upset. It's okay to still be hurt. It's okay to still be crying about some old shit. It is okay. Your body is trying to get that shit out of you. When you feel anger, your body is trying to get it out. It's trying to bring it to your attention. If you feel sad, your body is trying to let you know, I'm not okay. I need help. I need this shit to get off of me. Okay? So I do not condone not giving a fuck. I do not condone pushing your emotions to the side. I do not condone that shit. I do not condone it. But I am the type of person where if I feel some type of way, especially if somebody irritates me or offends me, a lot of times I don't tell them. I just go to myself and try to make myself feel better by not talking to them. Because the way my brain processes shit, if you did something to hurt my feelings and I have to tell your ass that you hurt my feelings, it's either one, you don't give a fuck, or you don't know no better. If you don't give a fuck, why should I talk to you about it anyway? And if you don't know no better, who the fuck am I to try to teach you, a grown-ass person, about how to treat people? That's not my job, you know? So I just remove myself and make myself feel better. I'm not the type of person where if I got a problem with somebody, I'm just like, hey, you did this, I don't like this. Like, no, I'm not one of those people. Unless it's something like really like fucked up, like, yeah, of course I'll talk to you about it. But if it's something petty, like, I go to myself. And maybe one of y'all need to hear that, to where you don't have to always tell somebody, you know, that they got you fucked up, or raise your voice, or get, you know, work yourself up. Just a lot of times walking away, picking our battles wisely, you know. That's what I do. Because some people truly don't know no better, you know. Some people's principles are a little different. Some shit I would never do that other people do it, and they think it's okay. Who the fuck am I to tell them they wrong or try to teach them something else? Can't teach no grown-ass person nothing, you know, unless they want to be taught. But most people don't want to be taught anything, especially if they feel like they got everything figured out. So me personally, when it comes to anger, I just get away from that person. Because in the past, I used to not get away from people, and I used to cuss their ass out and say very hurtful things that I will regret later. So I'm actually doing them good, and I'm doing myself good as well by not saying anything and just, you know, not so much carrying on, but going somewhere else and trying to process that emotion by myself. Something else that's kind of been helping me with my anger, like if somebody hurts my feelings or something, I actually pretend like that person is around me, and I talk shit to them that way. Instead of talking shit to their face. Because once again, I told y'all, some people already be miserable. Some people already be having shit on their plate. So trying to argue with somebody and tell them how they got you fucked up, and they already stressed out, like, they not gonna understand what you're saying. They're not gonna be able to take time to actually have empathy for you or how you feel, because they don't even have empathy or can process how the fuck they feel. There's shit in their life that they have not dealt with. So another person who hasn't dealt with themselves and how they feel, it's impossible for you to tell them, hey, you hurt my feelings, and for them to understand you. Okay? So yeah, it's just important for us to be tapped in with ourselves. If a person ain't tapped in with themselves, it's fucking impossible for them to be tapped in with you. If a person doesn't pay attention to how they feel, they struggle away their feelings, their emotions, don't expect them to have empathy for you or to understand you. And I've learned that firsthand. I have learned that firsthand, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it though, y'all. I just want y'all to know your emotions are important, and it's normal. You're supposed to give a fuck. You're supposed to feel that sadness. You're supposed to feel that anger, that irritation. Is letting you know something's wrong and something needs to be done. Something needs to be done differently. Okay? And if we don't know what to do, that's why we go into prayer. That's why we communicate with spirit, so that we can get divine guidance on what we can do to alleviate ourselves of this feeling. Because if we don't do anything about this, it just sits and it sits, and as we get older, it grows and 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 it grows, and it spreads to our whole fucking body, and it creates an illness that we cannot get rid of because it has grown, it has gotten too fucking bad. So where this body gets so burnt up to where the spirit is like, I gotta go get a different body. This one, it has accumulated too much stress. It has accumulated too much sadness, too much sorrow, too much grief. She refuses to, or he refuses to confront and rid itself of these impurities. So I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. You know? So, yeah. I'll go ahead and close this video out. I love y'all so much. I pray that any worries, any anxieties, any fears, any sadness, any aggravations, any situation in your lives, I just pray that you guys find peace. I pray that you guys are open to whatever answers you need to help you to solve whatever problems are there, you know. And I wish nothing but peace, clarity, and happiness amongst you all. And just know it's okay to give a fuck. Okay, you giving a fuck is a good thing. I mean, your heart is working. It's a good thing. Okay, it's not normal to not give a fuck. That's not normal. Okay, we're not robots. Robots are designed to not give a fuck. Humans with hearts and thoughts, we supposed to be thinking about some shit. We supposed to be feeling emotions. That shit's normal. But what are we doing with those emotions when we feel them? Are we allowing them to build up until we become a fucking ticking time bomb, or are we confronting those emotions? Okay, so yeah. And I also want to let you guys know, I validate your every thought. I validate your every fear, your every anxiety, how you feel. It's normal, it's okay, it is acceptable. Okay, but what are we doing about those emotions? Okay, what are we doing about that anger, that sadness? Okay, it's important that we get rid of that. Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. I love y'all so much, and I pray that this video did something for somebody. And yeah, Lana loves y'all, and it's okay to be sad. All right, mwah.